My question for you, Garrett, what is your current shiny object?
Yeah, there's two that come to mind. I mentioned when we recorded the podcast, I'm kind of a bucket list guy. And there have been two bucket list items that just have eluded me because they take a lot of time and logistically are challenging. And related to hunting, archery hunting, it's...
Welcome to the Range Podcast. I'm Ricky Bruley, and with me is Jake Hollywood Iverson. Join us at the archery range, where we'll tell stories from the hunt, discuss technical bow shooting tactics and gear, and pick the brains of some of the most successful people to ever shoot a bow. Whether you're about to shoot that X for the win or send an arrow at a trophy buck, this podcast is for you. The Range Podcast is brought to you by Vapor Trail Archery, makers of the best bowstrings money can buy, originators of limb-driven arrow rest technology, and innovators of Stokerized stabilizer systems. Well, hey folks, this is Ricky Bruley, your host of the Range Podcast. This segment of our podcast is known as Shiny Objects, and we like to ask our guest, what is your current shiny object? It doesn't necessarily have to be an object. It can be an experience. It can be a song, a book, anything like that, maybe an upcoming hunt. My question for you, Garrett, what is your current shiny object?
Related to hunting, archery hunting, it's a float hunt for moose up in Alaska. So I've hunted moose several times up there, but I've been really wanting to do one out of a pack raft, and I have it all planned out. I just need to carve out enough time to do it. And then related to life, it's actually quite similar. I chalked off pretty much everything on this yellow bucket list that I've had for a long time, and they're all adventure related, other than a big peak. And so that would be something over 20,000 and a challenging, mountaineering experience. And so I need to get that done. I'm 45 this year, and so got my eyes on a couple different peaks as prospects, and should be doing that in the next couple of years out.
Oh man, that's cool. I look forward to seeing that and see what you have going on with that. So make sure you stay in touch and kind of let me know how that's going. And then I see you got a couple of shiny objects there on the wall behind you. We'll be right back.
Hollywood here. New for the 2023 archery season is our brand new online arrow customizer.
Build your Victory or Easton arrows with multiple vane options, configurations, and custom arrow wraps in a large array of designs and colors. Spine indexing and expedited build options are also available, so you can get back out in the field and fling it in style. Check out the Vapor Trail Arrow Customizer at www.vaportrailarchery.com/arrow customizer.
And I assume that's the bighorn sheep that we spoke of in the previous episode, correct?
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. The one and only tag that I'll probably ever see for a bighorn sheep.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like you got an antelope there and a really solid mule deer there too. That's awesome.
Yeah, the mule deer. He's actually from the same year as the sheep, archery mule deer. Really great deer.
Is he in velvet?
So my office, he's in velvet. Yeah.
Wow. It's a great mount too.
Yeah. So my wife, she allowed me to piece of taxidermy out in the main living area, and then I've got to hide. Got some other stuff in here. Got to hide the rest of my office. So when I do regular meetings, being I work in healthcare, my computer's over here, so you can't see it. No, it's the first meeting where I get to share it, so
it's beautiful. Yeah, appreciate
not
that.
To brag.
I know. You should be proud of it. It's they're huge accomplishments, and everything that goes into every single one of those is a big deal. And I have a lot of friends and stuff like that. I wouldn't say they're like anti-hunters; they're just not really into the hunting thing. But I've had a few of them say, they just think it's weird, it's strange to have taxidermy on your wall. And, I argue that it's a way of honoring the animal in my eyes. You know what I mean? Because they are beautiful. And same thing, my wife, I don't have, all of my taxidermy is here in our shop, except for my one big whitetail, I'm allowed to keep that one in the house. So, because that buck has more meaning than any animal I've ever taken with my bow. So I'm like, I
read that story. Yeah.
That one gets to stay in the house. Story. Every morning I wake up and I look at that and I'm like reminded of, who our maker is and who provides for us. So
absolutely.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm beating a dead horse here with my shiny objects, because they're, I do this every week. So going on 38 days of no alcohol. So, and just health wise, I feel great. I've been just reading a ton of stories, like David Brinker and just a lot of people that are making a strong effort to just live healthier lifestyles. And my wife's parents, my parents, they all passed from cancer, and maybe that's not why, but I would imagine it probably plays a role in it. And, you get to that point, you're in your 40s and kids and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, this is just a challenge that I need to meet. And the only downside is I've lost like about 10 pounds since I started. And maybe some people might think that's good, but I don't really have 10 pounds to lose. So I don't know if you can see it. I'm getting some cheekbones here and stuff. So I got to really start kind of pigging out, and eating a lot of peanut butter or something so I can start bringing myself back up to my normal weight. But
that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, but that's kind of my shiny object right now. And both me and my wife are doing it. And it's tough actually, because, you kind of, my body is adjusting, hers is adjusting, and it's not just physical, it's mental. You have to come up with different ways of coping. And that's the big thing for me too, is I don't want to have that as a crutch. So I feel very accomplished. And initially it was just going to be a 30-day deal. And once 30 days hit, I thought, man, I'm just going to keep going.
It's inspiring to all of us.
Yeah, thank you. And I was inspired by many different people too. These stories just keep coming up, and I'm just like, God has a way of speaking to us through other people, and I'm like, yeah, this needs to happen. It needs to happen now. So yeah, pretty proud of that, and I'm feeling good, man. So, well, awesome, man. Thanks again for being on the show. I really appreciate it. It's been great to talk with you, and thank you for sharing your story and sharing everything about what you're up to and what you have going on. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate just this experience. I mean, we just touched on, areas of life that just would have gone by without me reliving them. And it's good to connect here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks again. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of this episode. You can find us at the Range Podcast on Instagram and on Facebook. Also, be sure to head over to the Vapor Trail and Stoker Eyes social channels. Give us a follow over there. Again, please be sure to head to our Vapor Trail YouTube channel. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe so you can be up to date on all things archery. And if you're listening, do me a huge favor. Get over to iTunes or over to Spotify and make certain that you give us 5 stars. Also, don't forget, be sure to head over to Garrett's social media channels. He's Garret Rock 5 on Instagram, and then just Garret Rock on Facebook. Get over there, check him out, give him some love. And with that, we are going to pack up our bows and we're going to hit the range. Have a great day, everybody.
Vapor Trail is now offering an exclusive discount to the Range Podcast listeners. Enter promo code TRP15, that's TRP15, at checkout for 15% off VTX bowstrings and Vapor Trail and Stoker Eyes branded t-shirts, hats, and other gear.